Next question is from Britt Spears, Loves Shoes Collection.
Whoa, that's like hold on a
fan
second.
base right here. Adam?
Britney
What's
Spears and Shoe Collector. They wanted to get picked for Adam.
Does the effectiveness of changing phases for hypertrophy say anything about the truth behind muscle confusion?
You know,
does the effective? Let me what the effective?
so the fact that you change phases for growth, does that say anything about the fact that muscle confusion, that there's truth behind it?
well, that's where it comes from originally.
Yeah,
The problem is the muscle confusion part is it changes up every workout. Like they're always changing the exercises. Like there's my problem is it doesn't really allow you to get super good at and efficient at a lot of the lifts when you're changing all the time.
Yeah, the worst myths in anywhere, actually, in any space, but definitely in the health and fitness space, the worst myths have some truth in them.
Yeah.
So they start with some truth, and then they go crazy, and then
They get bastardized. That's what happens. It was the idea of muscle confusion originally. Theoretically, it's correct.
it's
right.
like don't do the same exact thing all the time forever.
Yeah, right. So, but it got bastardized, and then it turned into this thing where it's just like now people we were preaching, and I'm by the way guilty of being one of these people that was preaching like we got to confuse the muscle every workout. So it's like you're doing something different to just
shaking the 8 ball, and then hey, that's what the workout is today.
thinking that's a great approach to growth, and it's so quickly, but I 100% think that's where this came from is exactly that it does there's tremendous benefit from you sticking to a phase for a short period of time after you've ran that phase for a short period of time, i.e. 3 to 5 weeks or so, then you move into another phase, and that's what promotes building muscle.
Now, there's a lot of exercises that you don't really gain the max value of that exercise until you've done it for a while and gotten good at it. These tend to be the complex movements, like deadlifts and squats. When you first do them, you get stronger fast just because you get used to the movement. But really, the gains start to happen when you start to get good at the exercise, which means you have to practice them.
You got to practice them a lot.
Often, right? So you want to do core lifts, and you want to do them often, and you want to do them long term. What you change up are the reps or the tempo. So I'm still squatting, but I'm squatting now with a slower tempo, or my reps are going up a little bit, or I'm throwing in, like a superset type of deal. Other exercises, like single joint exercises, you can switch up a lot faster. Like I switch up bicep and tricep exercises all the time, but there's core things that I don't switch up very often. I tend to do an overhead press almost every time I do shoulders, right? I tend to do some kind of a row for back, or something along those lines. So changing things up is important, but what you don't want to do is think that that's it. And I just change up all the time, because then you never get good at anything and you never derive the real benefit. You're always in this phase of like trying to learn something, in which case you don't really get the maximum.
Well, it also depends on, I think, your goal though, right? Because I think if you are, one of the things I do remember about that phase of my life when I was going through this muscle confusion, right? Of like, where I used to pride myself on saying like no workout ever looked the same, So I was very fit. Right. So I had great rotational strength. I had good mobility.
You also had a lot of experience.
Yeah. I had a lot of stuff going for me. What I wasn't doing was really progressing very much. I wasn't building a lot more muscle. I wasn't getting way stronger. I was just staying really fit because I was doing a lot of different things all the time.
Good condition, relative strength.
Yes. I was like, if we always talk about the like building an avatar in a video game, and I just had
the middle.
Yeah, I was in the middle on everything. Really good. Pretty good at everything like that, and it kept me overall fit. So there's some value to that if you're where you want to talk. Obviously, we get questions of people that are trying to make gains, improve, change body fat composition. If you're trying to make progress and moves, this is where this stuff really starts to matter, because that's the things that you're talking about are what's going to make the body change in a direction at a faster, more efficient rate. Where if there's somebody who has reached this place of, attained a look or their fitness that they want to be at, and they want to just kind of maintain that fit physique, I think training that way isn't as bad as sometimes we make it sound.
I think that's why we all lean on like the actual strength coaching type of programming, because it's the law of specificity is still there, like in terms of like how your body's going to adapt in a specific direction based on the stimulus you're providing. So you can only get good at something the more frequently you practice it. However, the body adapts. And so what we try to do is sort of, interrupt that process. But if you still want to get good at that very specific goal, you bring it right back. So it's like, it's still heavy in the rotation, but knowing, where the body tends to kind of drift off and plateau, if we can stay ahead of that, now we can keep progressing.
Yeah, and some people will point to like advanced bodybuilders and be like, oh my God, they do a different workout every single time. Well, when you're really advanced, you've been working out for a long time, you can connect and do exercises pretty well the first or second time, depending on the exercise, right? But bodybuilders have been working out for a long time. They can go to any chest machine, any back machine, lots of shoulder machines or exercises, and they can feel it and get a good workout. When you're not advanced, there's the learning, you have to go and learn the lift, and also complex lifts aren't like that. I've taken bodybuilders with lots of experience who never deadlift, had them deadlift, and it's like a 5-week process of getting them good at it before we start to add weight.
It's longer than that. Yeah. If you want an example, this is such a bad jab right here, but I just came across my feed, so that's the only reason why I'm bringing it up.
Here comes the shade.
Yeah, it's not meant to be for that, but it's such a great example of what you're talking about right now is, and you brought it up. Remember you said, does it feel like the bodybuilding space is deadlifting and squatting way more since we started talking about it 5 years ago?
And what's his name? Mr. Classic Olympia. What's his name?
Yeah, Jeremy Bodilla.
Oh no, Jerry. He started deadlifting, huh?
Yeah, he's been deadlifting for a while now. But when you watch him, it's rough. It's rough form.
He never
dude.
deadlifted.
He never, and that's the thing. He never deadlifts like that. You see him squatting barefoot now. You see him trying to deadlift and stuff like that. It takes a while.
It does.
Especially when you haven't done it in a long time. And even for someone that advanced, who has that great mind
now
muscle.
you put him on back and chest machines, and he'll hit it right away.
No, and it's not to take anything from the guy when it comes to sculpting a physique and how impressive all the other things that he can do. But it's such a great example of someone who's that experienced in lifting and how complex a deadlift or a squat can be, that person is
animal.
He's arguably one of the best connected people to his muscles than more people than the 99.9% of the population, yet still taking that dude years. Okay, because he's now, I've been watching him now for like last year or two that he's been consistently doing it, and it still ain't pretty.
Yeah.
So it takes a while to practice that.
That's true.
And so, in other words, he still is not even reaching the max benefits from that deadlift. And when he gets really good at that movement, he's going to start to. And I already see his back changing from the progression of him starting to do that already.
No, I was referring to, what's his name, Sebum. He's
he always deadlifts.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like
he's got a beautiful deadlift. And
beautiful.
Squat. Yeah,
I think lifters,
that's because he's been doing it forever.
He has, and I think lifters like him are making other people in the space now.
Sure.
For a
yeah.
For a second,
I was trying to highlight the example you were saying of like the learning curve.
Oh no.
I mean, you're talking about somebody who's super advanced.
No, he's really good deadlifting.
Yeah.